Welcome to another episode of What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? I'm Karen E. Osborne, and I hope you've been following us because, boy, these interviews have been so enlightening and fun, and I hope you're enjoying them. I am the author of Getting It Right, and my upcoming novel, women's fiction murder mystery, is called Tangled Lies, and it comes out on July 22nd. And I have as my guest today a fellow teacher, a writer, and an artist. And her name is Cheryl A. Hunter. Welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you, Karen. It's really good to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I'm so glad you decided. And you told me that you've seen some of these and you came anyway. So that makes me very
They're very
happy.
good. They're very good.
Well, let me just tell you just a little bit about Cheryl, and then she's going to tell you all about herself. But she is the author of her first book was A Cross-Country Romance. And she's wondering, actually, if she should change that title. Maybe you have thoughts about that. And then she has a really good paranormal romance novel that is just coming out on May 20th. And it's called Inheritance Revealed. And she's going to tell us about that. And she is an artist. She does glass art. Is that what we call it?
It's fused glass. Fused glass.
Fused glass art, and she's going to show us some of her gorgeous pieces. So this is going to be a very fun 15 minutes with you and with Cheryl. Cheryl, perhaps you could start, though, by giving our viewers some recommendations of books you've enjoyed.
Well, I'm just started reading. It's a brand new book, came out last week, the Venice Sketchbook. And it's by Rhys Bowen. And I've never read anything by her before, but it was a recommendation. So I tried it, or I started it. It's very good. It's a woman who is going on a quest. Her aunt has died, and her aunt wants her ashes buried or scattered in Venice. And she's unraveling the mystery of her aunt's life. And her aunt actually, it's written in diary form for at least part of the book, the part that I've gotten to so far. And it takes place right before World War II. And the aunt is recruited by our Secret Service, basically, to watch the canals of Venice to see what boats are coming and going. Very descriptive, paints, I mean, I've been to Venice, and it paints Venice beautifully.
Wow.
So far, I'm really enjoying it. I haven't finished it, so I don't know how it ends, but it's really good.
That sounds wonderful. I too love Venice. It's a great city to visit. So I'm looking forward to that one. My list is getting way too long, but I'm looking into that one. And do you have another one?
The other one that I read recently was Nora Roberts' book. She wrote The Awakening with Dragons, and I like dragons. I read it. I liked it, but I'm not sure. It's a part of a trilogy, so it kind of ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger, which is fine. I know the next two books will be coming out, but it was good. I like dragon books. I'm a big fan of Anne McCaffrey books, all like 20 or 30 of them, and her son. And I think now her granddaughter's writing them too. So I love the dragon books, and I did enjoy it. I did enjoy but the only problem, as I said, it ends in a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Because that's what she does.
That's what she does. Yeah, when she writes trilogies.
That's what a trilogy is about, isn't it? I liked one of her trilogies. I loved so much. It was called The One, and it was 3 books, and it was really well done. Some of her other books, were like, okay for me, but that trilogy was amazing. And they did leave in a cliffhanger, and I did have to, get the next book right away.
Yeah, I read those after they came out, so I was able to go 1, 2, 3.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But that says something about us as we try to write, you and I, how series can be really so helpful. And another author I spoke to, AJ McCarthy, she calls them spin-offs. So they're not exactly a series. She picks a character, a lesser character in one of the earlier books, and she makes that person She
main
writes
character.
she writes great books. Okay, so thank you for those two. Now let's talk about you.
Okay.
So first, share with us a little bit about your writing journey.
I think I've always written. It seems like I've always kept a journal, worked on newsletters from school and clubs later on. My daughter was a figure skater. I did the newsletter for her figure skating club. So writing's always been a part of life. But now it's become more of a focus.
And where did the art come in?
Again, well, this is an interesting story. When I was in high school, I took every English class my high school offered, small school, but every English class the high school offered. Came to my senior year, and I was only 16 when I started my senior year. So, what am I going to take? So I said, I'll take an art class. And I just loved it. And then it just went on from there. A lot of painting, a lot of ink and watercolor. And now I'm doing glass art.
Very nice. Good, because you
Majored
just
in art in college for a while.
yeah.
Didn't finish that. I eventually finished with humanities and English. And so that's
Yeah.
been
So do you
where
have
I'm
a couple
going.
of pieces to show
I
us?
do. I can show you a couple of pieces. This is
Isn't
the
that beautiful?
wave. So this is a long piece of glass, and everything you see here is glass. So even the painting of the sea turtle that you see here. And so these are all made in stages. So I take straight pieces of glass and I twist them, and I take what this is called frit and make them into what will look like coral eventually. So it's made in pieces, and then I put it together, fire it again in a kiln. So this is fired multiple times. And when it comes out, I put it on a mold and fire it again in the kiln.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are all your pieces original pieces? Do you ever do
Yeah.
the same piece twice?
You can never do the same piece twice because the glass always is different.
Mm.
You pick up different colors, and as you can see here, I have another one here. This is smaller, so this is a hanging piece because you
Mm.
turtles. See, you can never have the same thing twice.
Yeah, those are beautiful. Those are
And even for Christmas, some of my popular Christmas ones, little Christmas tree,
oh, that's lovely.
and they hang. And
Yeah, that is very lovely.
thank
Now
you.
those you must make more than one of.
Again, the shape is the same, but I might use a different color here. The glass here is clear, so I'm always sprinkling on the little bits of frit, little pieces of glass. So it can never be exactly the same.
Yeah,
There's
that's
always variations. There's always little differences in them. So it's
yes.
fun. I
And rich.
only started it in 2019, and I've
Wow.
always thought about doing glass. In 2018, my daughter and I went to, I did some glass blowing and we did some flame work to make icicles. And I just said, that's it. I went home that summer. I set up a glass studio in my shed outside. And I've been doing so just a little over a year, almost a year and a half. And I just love glass.
That's impressive. That's
Thank
very
you.
impressive. All right. So tell us about your new book that's coming out on May 20th.
20th, yes, Inheritance Revealed. And this is really it's paranormal. She is a vampire hunter and she doesn't know it. So this is really a kind of a coming of age book. It's a hero's journey story. I do a lot of hero journey in my academic writing, and that of course carries over into my fiction writing. She's 25 years old. She's getting her PhD, finishing her dissertation, working at her first job. Everything is going beautifully until she's attacked. And she awakens. She finds out there's this supernatural world. The mythology she's been teaching is somewhat real. And then she starts her journey of discovery. And along the way, she realizes that it's not just her, it's the whole family. There
Mm.
are hidden features in her family's past. Um, and there's a mystery surrounding her great grandfather who may actually be alive.
Wow, that
Yeah,
sounds fascinating.
thank
And
you.
you'd mentioned that it was a kind of a romance. What elements of it?
She's dating someone, and when she's attacked, after she awakens, she realizes he's a vampire. So she's a vampire hunter. He's a vampire. Um, so there is some elements of romance, but
Yeah.
he's an older vampire. He was turned in the 1800s. So he's lived quite a long time, and he becomes more of a helper as well as a lover.
Wow. Oh, that sounds fascinating, Cheryl. That sounds like a wonderful, fun read.
And it is part of a trilogy. So,
So this is the
but
first one
the first one
of a trilogy.
of a trilogy, but I don't end on a cliffhanger per se, but
Because you're kinder to your
a
readers.
little kinder, yes. I mean, not everything is resolved in the first, but yes, they can be read independently.
And are you well on your way for the second one? Where are you with the
Second book
second?
is pretty much finished. I'm in that tedious editing phase. And the third one is about 70,000 words, 78,000 words finished. So they
Wow.
run around 100,000 each of them.
Wow, that's impressive. That's very impressive.
Thank
And you
you. And
do
I know
all
how
of
it ends.
that
So
while you have a full-time gig.
yeah, yeah. I teach a couple of different universities.
That is a very full life.
Very full. Yes, very full. I do a lot of, I don't sleep a lot, which is good.
And where could our audience learn more about you, be in touch, see more of your art?
Mhm. CherylAHunter.com is my website. My art is up. My books are up there. So everything is there. I'm on Twitter at Cheryl A. Hunter 4, and I'm on Facebook, Cheryl A. Hunter. So CherylAHunter.com for everything.
Excellent, excellent. Well, if you would like to learn more about Cheryl, do go and look at her website, follow her on Twitter, like her Facebook page, and buy her book. That's like,
And there will be actually, I haven't announced this yet, so announcing on your show. The prologue to Inheritance Revealed will be posted the week the book comes out. So the week that May 20th falls in,
oh,
which I
that's
think is 17th. I'll have a short prologue, about 1,600 words.
That's very good. Yeah, maybe I should have waited. I did a reading of my first chapter, but I already put it on my website. But the week it comes out, I'll repost it. Thank you for that.
There you go.
Thank you for that idea. And thank you all for joining us on What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? See you next time.